Hi, my name is Karen Woodmore. Thank you for joining me today. I am a family nurse practitioner for those of you who don't know me. I have been in practice for about 25 years now. And in all of my time as a nurse practitioner, I have never seen anything quite like the technology from LifeWave with the X39. And today we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about why it may be beneficial for you, how it works, where it came from. And first of all, to start off with, we have a guest with us. Janet Ragsdale is here with us today, and she is going to share her experience. So Janet, do you want to tell everybody a little bit about what you're experiencing with your back pain? Because I know you've had years of back issues.
Yes, and my story kind of begins where Ken's started last week when he went in to see you for his health reasons. I had mentioned to you that I had my back hurt because we had just come from a Shakespeare festival and I had to walk a ways to get to the car. And so I was hurting pretty bad, but you suggested we go to a meeting. And so we went to the meeting of that weekend, and I was patched at the meeting, and it helped somewhat, but it didn't, completely take it away at that point. But it led us down the path to getting more patches, and I guess my story is with X39 too, but probably it started with the IceWave patches for my back, because I had excruciating pain. I told you, I think for 5 years, but I got to thinking about it, and it's really actually more like 7 to 9 years before that, because we lived in Vegas and we used to go to the Strip a lot. And of course, if you've ever been to Vegas, you have to walk a lot in Vegas. And so I would have to stop and sit down. Walking through the casinos, I'd stop and have to sit down because it was just so bad I couldn't hardly stand the pain. And I've lived with that for, like I said, probably about 7 years before I came to IceWave, or to LifeWave.
So was there an accident or some cause for your back pain, or just degeneration over time?
No, I guess just degeneration, I guess, because it just started. I started with knees first several years before that. I had trouble with knees. Never really had any surgery or anything done on them. I just kind of grit my teeth and kept going, and it finally stopped. My knees stopped hurting, but my back seemed I'd go to massage therapists and chiropractors, and it would relieve the pain for a little while, but then it would still be there. It was like it was a nerve or something back there that was so tight, and it would get so tight that it would just be, every step that I took, it it was excruciating pain. And but then when I started doing the IceWaves, I think when we went to the meeting, then when I was patched, I could tell a little bit of a difference when we put the patches on, but I mean, it didn't take it away, and it didn't take it away completely right then, but every day it got better and better and better. But it also took away that really excruciating pain. So there was just a little dull pain that was still there, but it was something that I could live with until finally, after using the patches for a while, it's completely gone. I never have any trouble with it at all anymore.
That's great.
And I don't wear IceWaves every day.
So is there a particular patching that you do for the IceWave, a particular placement that you found works best for you?
Just mainly around where the pain was in the back, and then of course with the corresponding white patch. But that, along with, I use carnosine also, and also X39s, and I'm sure all three of them had their own way to make it better. Because
for those of you, yeah, sorry, go ahead.
No, that's all right. I was just going to say that was my healing journey, and it just kept getting better and better with time.
That's awesome. Yeah, for those of you that are unfamiliar with the IceWave patch, it's a set of 2 patches, and basically what she's talking about is there's a tan patch and a white patch, and you put the tan patch on the spot where the most pain is, and then you move the white patch around until you find the spot that brings down the pain enough that you really notice a difference. So that's what Janet's talking about. And then I know you had issues with your energy as well.
Hmm. Well, because I am older, you lose things as you get older. But yes, and the energy patches help me a lot. If we're going to go somewhere or have an event to go to or something, I put energy patches on it. It makes such a big difference. I can't even explain it. As soon as I put them on, I can tell the difference. And I do also wear X39s with these, and so I know that that is also working with the ice waves and the energy patches also.
Okay. So how long from the time that you started using the patches to the time that you started feeling like, hey, my back isn't even bothering me anymore? How long did that take for you?
I was thinking about that the other day. I really don't know, because it seems like, when your pain goes away, it
You
leaves
don't
your
think
mind
about
and you
it.
don't, yeah. But we had to go to the festival. Ken talked about this last week. We had to go to an arts festival in Denver after he had his COVID. And I didn't think I was going to be able to do it. I thought sure we were going to just have to cancel, because you have to be on your feet a lot and you have to talk to people. You have to get up, and talk to people and stuff. And so I didn't think I was going to be able to do it. But even during that period of time, it was 2 weeks that we were gone. I didn't ever experience any real excruciating pain through that time. Maybe it's a little dull pain afterwards. I would say probably within a couple of months, it was completely gone. Maybe not
Wow.
even that long. I don't know. I can't, like I said, I can't really remember exactly when it fully went totally away, but it wasn't a long time. I do know that.
So it was basically 4 patches that you were doing. You were doing the carnosine, Aeon, Ice Wave, and X39.
Yeah.
And then the energy enhancer for your energy.
Yes.
Okay.
We didn't even have energies at first, when we first started. We added those later, and I use those more now than I did in the beginning. But yeah,
Okay.
those are my go-to patches whenever I have a problem. Like, we were out working in the yard yesterday, and I had some sore muscles after bending over and pulling weeds and stuff yesterday, and cleaning the furniture and getting it all ready for spring. And last night I was kind of sore from doing all of that, so I put ice waves on the bottom of my feet when I went to bed, and this morning I feel fantastic.
Awesome.
No sore muscles or anything.
Love to hear that. Yeah. And was there something else? Did you have an issue with sleep too? Or your
um
sleep has been good?
yeah, no, I do. Because when I am still, when I lay down, my mind just starts going. I also have songs in my head all the time.
Oh,
Yes, I have music in my head all the time. I don't know where it comes from. Sometimes it's from something I hear. Sometimes it just pops in there, and it's there all day. And when it's quiet at night, then I'm hearing the songs and I'm singing along with them and everything. So yes, we do. I do use the Dream,
okay.
and once in a while I use the what is it?
Silent
Silent
night?
Night. Yeah, but I don't have as much trouble with that as I do. I do have heartburn, but it happens sometimes, and I use the Eons for that. Um, it
So where
just
do you put the Aeon when you have
I
the
put
heartburn?
them on the CV 14, 15, or 16, right on my chest, and I
Okay.
keep Eons on my nightstand next to my bed. And I have one laying out all the time. And I just reach over and pick it up and then just hold it on the spot. Sometimes I can just hold it there for a little while, and I can take it off and then lay it back on the nightstand. If it's more pronounced, depending on what I ate, if I had spaghetti or potatoes or some real fried foods, where I'll get a little bit of, when I lay down, it bothers me the most. And so sometimes I'll just go ahead and stick it on, but sometimes I just have to hold it on for a little bit, and then
It
it
just
goes
does.
away.
Oh, that
Yeah,
is awesome.
it
Yeah.
is. It really is. It amazes me. Then as soon as I put it on, it affects it right away. It's just amazing.
Well, I'm not looking forward to having heartburn again, but the next time I do, I want to try that.
Right.
So yes, thank you for sharing. So my question for everybody is, have you been patched yet? I have been patched now for about 3 years. This is the X39 patch that helps elevate, activate, and regenerate your stem cells. So can you imagine experiencing a level of health and vitality that you haven't experienced since your youth? Imagine having no pain, sleeping through the night, having more energy, and reversing aging. Well, these things aren't science fiction. This is actually possible, and this is what we're talking about today. As we age, we tend to lose our stem cells. Our stem cells decline. So by the time, we'll have you go to the next slide, Larry. And I'll show you the, yeah, so the fewer the stem cells you have, the faster you age and the slower you heal. And there's hundreds of millions of people that are experiencing symptoms of aging. I'm 57 myself, and I was noticing that I just wasn't sleeping as well at night. I was getting up every 1.5 to 2 hours to pee, and I was getting really thin tissue under my eyes, which I didn't like that at all. And I had noticed that there was recession of my hairline along the side. As we age, the stem cells in our body, they become less active and effective. And by age 60, the stem cells in our body show very little activity. They become slower and they're releasing less of the growth factors that are needed to repair our body. And by the time we're in our mid 70s, we are showing almost no stem cell activity at all. And that's why older people have such a difficult time healing from injury. Now, before we go on, LifeWave does have a disclaimer. LifeWave products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease or medical condition. You always want to consult with a physician or other qualified healthcare provider before embarking on a new treatment, product use, diet, or fitness program. So that being said, this does not cure anything. What this is doing is this is giving your body the tool that it needs so that your body can do the healing and the repairs, which is wonderful. Our bodies are magnificent when they're allowed to perform the tests that they're wanting to perform. So this is kind of like the holy grail of reverse aging. It actually increases a particular peptide called copper peptide. It's made of organic nanocrystals, and it's clinically proven to enhance your overall health and vitality. So how it works, this is basically light therapy. This is frequency medicine. And Albert Einstein in his day said that the future of all medicine would be frequency medicine. This is a perfect example of this. When you go out in the sun's light hits your body, and it gives your body a specific signal that tells your body to start producing vitamin D. The sun isn't giving you vitamin D. There's no vitamin D actually in the sun. It's giving our bodies a signal to make more vitamin D. And that's the same principle with this. So we have light constantly emitting from our bodies. You don't see it unless you're using night vision goggles. But if you're wearing night goggles, you can see that heat that's coming off our body, that is a form of light spectrum called far infrared. And as that bounces off the crystals, it gets infused with a particular frequency. That frequency goes into the body and tells your body to start producing copper peptide. And that, in turn, activates your stem cells. Just the copper peptide alone, though, has some amazing benefits. On the National Institute of Health, they have this to say on their website about the benefits of copper peptide. This is a government-sponsored website. So copper peptide stimulates blood vessel and nerve outgrowth and increases collagen and elastin for visible anti-aging. Copper peptide's ability to improve tissue repair has been demonstrated for skin, lung connective tissue, bony tissue, liver and stomach lining. Copper peptide has also been found to possess powerful cell productive actions such as multiple anti-cancer activities and anti-inflammatory actions, as well as having anti-anxiety, anti-pain, and anti-aggression activities. And these are just a few of the things that are on that website. So who came up with this? Well, David Schmidt is our inventor, founder, and CEO. There's over 130 US patents that he has come up with. He is a scientist and an inventor. He is also a two-time recipient of the Advanced Technology Award from the International Hall of Fame. So how he came up with this is he was working for the military on a project to help Navy SEALs to be able to stay awake in a mini sub for 30 hours without having to use stimulants or other types of chemical substances. He didn't want to use anything that would be harmful for the body. And he came up with our first patch, the LifeWave Energy Enhancer patch. Now, at that time, of course, LifeWave didn't exist, and things happened. 9/11 happened, and he ended up deciding, okay, well, the military has other focus right now, but the world really needs to know about this. It's too valuable not to share with the world. And so he came up with the company LifeWave, and it first came out back in 2004. So it's been around here for 20 years. In that first year of sales, it did $17 million in sales. So it did very well just from the get-go, and it has a track record. So this company has unique products, exclusively protected by multiple patents, over 80 years of research and clinical studies. There are also independent researchers and universities that have done their studies. There are medical and scientific experts that have looked into this. In fact, this is just, why don't you go back again, Larry? We're going to go and look at one of the studies. So in this bottom corner, this is a brain scan on a 77-year-old female. And in the bottom left-hand corner, you can see the before the X39, and it shows you on the right side, as you increase the voltage in the brain, you start seeing all that red color shows that there's a lot of activity. So in this first scan, you see a very overactive, overstimulated brain. After 3 weeks of using the patch, the brain is much more calm, and it maintains that calmness even after 6 weeks. And on this right side of this page, this is the patent for the X39, and you can't get a patent unless you can prove what you're saying. And in this patent, he says that it is for the activation, it is to increase the production of copper peptide for the activation of our stem cells. And that is just amazing, because there are so many people out there that are going out there getting stem cell therapy from other countries that can be very expensive, and there can be problems when you're using somebody else's stem cells. It's not always perfect. You can end up with side effects and problems. And this is a very safe and affordable way of actually getting stem cell therapy. So, okay, now we can go to the next page. So what are the benefits of the X39 technology? Well, pain relief, you can have some people have very rapid pain relief. Some people take more time, like Janet shared with us that it took her probably a couple of months before she really noticed that she had no more pain. You have reduction in inflammation within 24 hours. We have studies that show that. There's also supports in wound healing. And I think you and Ken have had a wound story before, haven't you, Janet? I'm trying to think.
No.
Okay, I might be mixing you up with somebody else, but as Janet was sharing, her energy and vitality improved. And the X39 can do a lot of these things, but sometimes it's nice to have some of these other patches because it's an added benefit and support, helps you get there a little bit faster. Did you notice a difference with the clarity of your thinking, Janet?
Oh, yes, absolutely. And even just with that and an Eon together is amazing too.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah, I noticed that my thinking got a lot better too, but I wasn't sure how much of that was just because I was sleeping so much better. I was actually able to get to sleep and only have to get up once during the night instead of 5 or 6 times. It was crazy. Yeah, and sleep is good. But yeah, I noticed that it was easier for me to get my charts and my workflow done at work too. They've shown enhanced sports performance, faster recovery from exercise, and improved skin appearance. I noticed that it was getting plumper under my eyes. Let's go to the next slide. and talk about what you can expect when you're wearing the X39. During the first few days, 4,000 genes begin to reset. That's a third of the body's genome, so that's huge. And within 6 weeks, the brain becomes more balanced. We saw that other study that has been done showing what's actually happening to the brain. Within 3 months, your collagen is increased. So that means decreases in wrinkles, hair growth increases. So I noticed that the recession was filling in. Increases in structural integrity of both your skeletal and muscular systems. So that's probably what was helping with that back pain as some of that healing was being able to actually take place.
Yeah.
And within 6 months, your heart reverses in aging. So this was a really cool study that was done. They had 15 people using the X39 every day. And after a period of 6 months, they found that 14 out of the 15 people had lowered their vascular age by an average of 8 years. When you consider that cardiovascular disease is still the #1 killer, anything that we can do to help our vascular health, this is something that we all need, that we can all benefit from. And I think sometimes you don't notice, just like, when you mentioned, when you first tried the patches, when you were first patched, you noticed a little bit of a difference, but you didn't notice a huge difference. And so it's easy to wonder, well, gosh, I don't even know if there's any real benefit at all that's taking place. But we can't see what's happening on the inside of the body. It just, some things do take more time to heal, especially the longer we're on the planet, the more problems that we end up having. And I think the body kind of uses its own intelligence on what to prioritize. And if you've got a cardiovascular issue, I think the body would want to repair that before a sore knee. That's my thoughts. I don't know how you feel about it, Janet.
Yes.
Yeah, I think that the body is very intelligent. It knows where to go. It knows where to put the energy, but the fact that it can have a tool to work with and be able to perform these things that it hadn't been able to do for years is amazing. And so, like David Schmidt says, it's not anti-aging, it's age reversing. And that's what this is all about. So if you want to find more information, you can go to our website. We have yourteaminmotion.com. You might want to write it down, yourteaminmotion.com. We've got testimonials. We've got information about the patches, information about business and upcoming events. So if you have any questions or you feel like, hey, I really kind of want to give this a try, you want to get back with the person who sent you here, because you can get the patches so normally the retail price is $150 a month, but you can get the patches for $100 a month by either becoming a preferred customer plus, or a brand partner. So there's different options, and the person who sent you here will know what might help best meet your needs. And so I will leave it at that, unless there's any other comments. I want to thank Larry for doing the slides for us. Nikki usually does that for us. She usually runs the show, but she's in Australia today. And Janet, thank you so much for sharing your story. It's really helpful to hear the experience from somebody else who's used the patches for different issues. Thank you.
I don't know where I'd be without them.
Yay! And thank you all for coming, and have a lovely rest of your day.
Thank you.
Bye.